Yep, no problem.
What's happening, guys, and welcome to episode 48 of the Galactic Explorers Podcast. I am Ash, and we are back after a brief hiatus, about a month and a half. Funny story, guys. We recorded a podcast on Sunday night, which was the 28th, predicting that the No Man's Sky news, what we're going to talk about, was going to come out on Tuesday or Wednesday. Lo and behold, Sean Murray, in his all infinite wisdom, decided to drop the bomb on us today as I started editing the podcast. Yay. So what we decided to do, guys, is re-record the beginning part of the podcast, which is always No Man's Sky related, and then I'm going to chop it together, and you'll see us. You'll see us change clothes, and back in time. So don't get too afraid of everything, guys. But yes, so this is recorded on the Monday, which is the 29th of October. The rest of the podcast will be from the 28th. Excuse me, guys. Right then, joining me today, as you can see, I believe, are you recording video at the moment, Kings?
No, I'm not.
No, it's okay. As you won't be able to see right now, is Kings. How you doing, sir?
Hello, Ash. Hello, everyone.
Hello. We would have been joined by Jeff. Well, you'll see Jeff in a little bit because he was also with us on Sunday night. But he was, unfortunately, time zones, as that was also a mess up. It's not letting him get here today because he's still at work, so yes. But No Man's Sky.
Yeah, The Abyss.
Sean Murray teased this free update last week. We also, I think, some people did some deep diving a couple of months back, perhaps, or a couple of weeks back, and found some interesting things in the game files. But it was officially announced last week by Senor Sean Murray, and yeah, it's dropped. It was fairly early this morning, I believe. This morning, was it 8 hours ago?
Certainly during the day. Yeah, during the day on Monday.
I believe his first tweet regarding it. Have you seen Sean Murray's tweets?
No, not today.
Well, he has this little alien thing that he tweets before he does something really important.
Okay.
And it's like it's giving a hug. Yeah, it's quite cute. But whenever he tweets that, I'm always thinking something big's going to happen, and then he goes into this whole, not a whole spiel, but 3 tweets where he says, like, 2 years ago. Sorry, guys, there's a cold's going around at the minute, and my lovely kids passed it on to me. He goes on to say, 2 years ago, we tentatively announced Foundation, our first update for No Man's Sky. After an intense launch period, we have no idea what to expect. Then the second one was Foundation started us down a new road, and 2 years later we're releasing community missions, dropping weekly content, and next, our biggest update yet, continues to see AAA player numbers. We've been overwhelmed by the response, which is really interesting. I would have thought there would have been some drop-off point, but I mean,
yeah.
I really didn't even think they were reaching AAA numbers for player base.
Don't know how do they know?
Well, Steam obviously they have access to the Steam.
Yeah, okay.
They'd be like coherent players.
But don't forget, with the Xbox release with Next, it's quite new as far as the Xbox is concerned, isn't it?
They've got a more complete package.
But no, they just got a newer package, so there's less.
Of course,
there's going to be less drop off.
But I think obviously if they received a game that was of the previous versions, I would have thought that obviously the drop off would have been more. I don't think there would have been a bigger player base added on by the Xbox. So I think the update obviously helps a lot with the Xbox release as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And then his third tweet was, "The Abyss is our next small step along the journey, and there are more to follow." So That is.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Oh, I'm really sorry, guys.
Yeah, you're suffering today.
Yeah, all that talking from yesterday, and then realising we have to do it today.
We got to do it again
Yes.
with extras.
With extras, but it's exciting though. So the Abyss, what is it? If you haven't played yet, the Abyss is the water. It's basically the oh, here we go, mind blanks again. Subnautica update for No Man's Sky, isn't it? Have you played Subnautica before, Kings?
No, I haven't.
Oh, have you not?
I think you mentioned it on the podcast before.
It's basically No Man's Sky, but you cannot leave the planet, and it's all underwater. I think there's like one island or two islands, but it's predominantly in the water.
A smaller scale.
Smaller scale.
Right.
More detailed, though, because obviously it's such on a smaller scale.
You can do that. Yeah, absolutely.
But yes, it's basically Subnautica, but in No Man's Sky. This update, and I've got the patch notes up now. Have you got the patch notes yourself, King?
No, I can find them though. That's not a problem. I spent my time actually playing it.
There you go. There's the patch notes. Yes, I did see. Cool. I started afresh with new eyes. Unfortunately, I got absolutely obliterated by every single planet trying to kill me. It's not even the environment that was trying to kill me. It was the goddamn animals. So yes, I didn't manage to get to any water.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned before how the creatures have become a little bit more aggressive in one of the recent updates. Well, what I did, I went back to my favourite base, which is on a watery world, and then activated the new submission. So I have in just not too long managed to gather the materials and create a Subnautica submarine thing. Yeah. But I have now to create an engine to power it. So I haven't.
Do the individual parts.
Well, I don't know how many parts there are, but yeah, you basically get this thing you can sit in, and it's as though no one's put an engine in it yet, so you can't go anywhere. It's quite good though. As you move the camera around, it's got a couple of floodlights on the front, and they'll follow you in a about 140-degree arc in front of the sub. So it's going to be good and I think they've lowered the ocean bed down.
Oh, so they made it deeper.
Because my base was beside a bit of water that was quite shallow, but now it's
a lot deeper.
Yeah, not really deep, but significantly deeper than it was before. And I have yet to fly. There's a big ocean bit just not too far away, so I'm going to go and investigate that once I got the sub going. So yeah, it's quite good. I mean, it's more. No Man's Sky is a load of systems all working together to create the game, and this is them adding in another system, and it's a
detailed system, I think.
Well, yeah, the good thing is it's a new environment, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's they had all the base systems in before, so we've got like hot planets, and then we've got cold planets and stuff, and obviously they still had like underwater terrains and stuff beforehand, but now I think maybe they're getting to the point where they're going, let's focus on each individual system, like ecosystem, so in this case water, and we'll just add like the finishing touches to it, which is the Abyss.
Well, I'm sure that the calls from the community for we need something better for exploring underwater is what they've been working towards.
I mean, they may take this idea with the other places, so like all the cold planets will get a fresh new.
Maybe
to see, because they do kind of get a little bit boring and not boring, but it's very much repetitive. What you're seeing, like environment wise.
Oh yeah, it does become. There's insufficient individual components, so everything does become quite the same in the end, and you end up not really noticing the differences because they're not significant enough.
Yeah, so I think something like this would be a good idea for like the individual planets, perhaps, and like you said, cold planets, then hot planets, and then tropical planets and stuff.
But I think this is really quite good, and I think it's going to make Jeff happy because he's obviously been very vocal about the underwater stuff. But and now, when you jetpack underwater now, instead of just going up, you go forward in the direction that you're facing.
Right.
And you get given the blueprint for a new oxygen
helmet thing
that works underwater and is it's an extended breathing apparatus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go on. Sorry.
So let's go through the patch notes then. So
sure.
So explore the terrors of the deep and the abyss update, introducing aquatic environments with over 5 times more variety, which is obviously a really good thing. Which, like I said, it would be really good to see on the other planets, the other environments, perhaps.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, I'd like to see more varied creatures everywhere.
Creatures' behaviour, improved underwater visuals, and much more.
And that's obvious immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the screenshots, and it looks full of life.
Yeah, that first. Oh no, it's not quite the first picture. The one underneath the video, one with the sort of glowing ball.
Yeah,
that's an armored clam.
Yes, I thought in the trailer.
Does it show it? Does it?
Yeah, I'll have the trailer playing also in the video at some point, guys. Yes, the giant clams, and they'll open up and let these pearls float out, and then they'll try and grab you if you go towards them. So we've got creatures of the deep. Underwater creatures have become more frequent and more interesting. Aquatic life inhabits the full depth of the ocean, and unique, terrifying creatures can be encountered on the ocean floor. Exploring the seabed can be lucrative, yielding crystallized sulfur, living pearls, or hadal cores, but avoid the territorial creatures that lurk there, from poisonous jellyfish to snapping clams and predator fish rumoured to be larger than starships.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Yes, and beware the abyssal horror which has lured many explorers to grim end. So yes. It looks like there's freighters crashed under the water now as well.
Yes, you encounter one as your mission to unlock this sort of stuff.
The Dreams of the Deep story, so obviously that's the name of the story, brings a new context to the depths and a dark narrative to No Man's Sky. Discover the fate of a troubled crew stranded from a freighter crash by the rising tides, or explore underwater ruins to uncover the tale of a lost soul trapped deep beneath the waves. It looks very eerie.
I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. Sunken wrecks. Investigate submerged buildings to find remnants of their lost occupants. Discover and scavenge lost cargo from galactic gigantic freighter wrecks. Use the terrain manipulator to excavate treasures buried on the nearby ocean floor. That's going to be pretty much what it's like on land.
I guess so.
Yeah. Find and repair rare crashed starships. That'll be cool. To restore them from the seabed to the skies. Wondering how you get them from the ocean. Do they just, when you get in it and take off, it just goes straight up through the water or something?
Probably. That's what happened when I did when I teleported and my ship was on the ocean floor. Oh. When I launched, it just went straight up.
Interesting. Diving helmet. Here we go. Is this what you were talking about?
No, it's not. I was talking about an upgrade module you install, just a breathing one. I haven't seen anything to do with that yet.
So they're very much the classic diving helmets of old, the big brass.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, very very reminiscent of them.
It might just be on the appearance manipulator thing.
Probably it looks.
That way. The next picture down shows it.
Yeah. True aquanauts will want to customize their periods with a diving helmet of the lost bathysphere.
Yep, I'm good with that pronunciation.
Mm-hmm. And then we've got new underwater biomes as well. We've introduced a host of visual improvements, allowing you to explore the underwater in even greater detail. The variety and visual quality of underwater biomes has been greatly improved, which I totally agree with. Experience rare exotic aquatic biomes as you explore new depths. And then we've pretty much got I think that probably the star of the whole update is the submarine. It's quite dainty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite small.
It kind of looks like an oversized drone.
Yeah, yeah. It almost looks like a fly's eye on the front. An insectoid. Yeah. But yeah, those are the two torches I was talking about. Right. The headlights.
Do you know what kind of range they've got? So how far can you walk away before they stop following you?
What, the submarine?
Well, no, the lights, because you said the lights will focus on...
well, that's when you're in it.
Oh, right, when you're in it.
When you're in it and you move the camera, they move to where you're pointing. So I guess it's going to aid exploration, because you're presumably in the sub.
Yeah, especially the deeper...
Well, I hope it goes... I hope it goes really dark.
Yeah. So we've got here, master the depths of planets using a new exocraft, the Nautilon. The submersible vehicle gives new meaning to underwater navigation, combat and mining. It can be summoned to any ocean on the planet as well as docked at underwater buildings. And obviously you can upgrade it as well with new technology. It's customized the Nautilon to stand out from your fellow explorers. So does that sound like it's going to be colour or?
I guess so. The same as you can do with the other exocraft. You can colour, can't you?
Yeah. Then we've got.
And there's some decals things you can put on as well, aren't there? So it'll be the same.
Yes. And then we've got a nice vista of an underwater base underneath that. Submersible building modules. So these are going to be just new parts for your base. I like the added fish tank that you can get.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool. What else we've got? Swimming controls. Obviously, this is what you were talking about with the jetpack pushing you forward rather than straight up. I do love some of these action shots, what they've got going on.
Yeah. Oh, and we got more gestures.
Yes, some more emotes, yes. Thumbs up and thumbs down seems a very basic kind of one. But although if you think about it, obviously that's what they use when the sign language when you are diving. So
yes.
Nice attention to detail there, actually. New substances. So we've got living pearls, briny predator something.
Yeah, don't know what that is.
No, something hypnotic eye. Maybe a hypnotic eye.
Probably.
Gloaming. Ooh, what's that going to be?
Gloaming globe. Gloaming globe.
No, it's not quite fully rounded. It's quite lumpy in several areas. Maybe globule though, like you said.
Yeah, it could be.
Crystal sulfur.
Oh, that's what you get from sub under the water vents.
Right. Okay.
And you need that to build your submarine base thing. Yeah.
And then we've got Hadal Core or Hadal Claw.
Do you know what? They're going to be protected by horrible underwater creatures like the aliens, aren't they?
Yeah. Then you got Vehicle Shop, which is where you get upgrade system, new merchant to set up a shop in space station. So this is going to be like all your upgrades.
Oh, okay.
Them. Freighter and frigate enhancements. In addition to the underwater focus of the abyss, freighters and frigates have also been enhanced. Both vessel types can now be scanned using the analysis visor, and explorers can repair their friends' freighters in multiplayer. Interesting. And then we've just got the full patch notes underneath, which is quite vast, as you would imagine with an update this size. Yeah,
just having a quick glance down through. Not much. I can't see very much that we haven't already mentioned.
No, not really. There'll be like little tiny bits that'll...
Yeah, bound to be.
Yeah, so obviously if you've played the actual added features, how are you enjoying it so far?
Well, I think, as I say, it adds, it makes watery planets far more interesting now.
Yeah.
So and
ones, like you said, like where they're more or less completely watery.
Yeah. Yes, I found one not too long ago that really was. It was virtually all water, other than a few, almost just tiny little islands. And there's no reason to stay, or at least there wasn't before. But now, with the ability to build a base and have it go down into the water and underneath, and then submarine away from it.
Indeed.
That's cool. Cool. But how much does it change the gameplay? I don't know. I think it adds a bit more variety, which is always going to be good.
Oh yeah, especially like we was talking about, where a lot of the things become samey.
Yeah.
I think it also it encourages you to go down and explore the ocean a lot more. Even if we are going to be 4 or 5 months down the line where we've gotten used to it, it's not become samey itself, but it's not everything's going to be a surprise. Again, I still think it's going to be a welcome change, and I think it will kind of outdate the surface a little bit. I think people will get used to this kind of this whole new update to the oceans, go up to the surface and can be a bit disappointed, and maybe spend a lot more time in the ocean rather than on the surfaces now.
Yeah, maybe.
But I'm going to be interested. It's going to be interesting to see how people decide to make water, because everyone was excited to make water bases before, when Next was just about to come out and when it did come out. But then there was no real added bonus to having an underwater base at that point. But now people will be designing them obviously about proper underwater bases where the submarines can come up and all that stuff. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and as we said, if there are any, or rather, those planets where you have a lot of water and a lot of deep water are going to be more, just going to be more interesting to stay and explore.
Definitely.
One thing I did notice, that they changed the shape of, the little glowing blue globes underwater, the plants that give you oxygen. I always forget what they're called.
Yeah.
Those ones, they're different shape now. They're more like they're the same sort of colour, but they're more like pointy sticks.
Right. Well, the plants or the actual.
The plants.
Right. Okay. Right. So they've just reworked some things. Maybe it's so it doesn't look similar to something else.
Possibly. But they did say, as we already said, they've reworked everything underwater, so it's just part of that rework, I guess.
Yeah. Variety.
Yeah. Oh, there's a note under system, under the big long notes. It says improved the multiplayer permissions for lobby use.
Oh, does that mean more people?
No, multiplayer permissions rather than multiplayer numbers. So it's going to be, where you can say who can join and what they can do when they are in your multiplayer. I noticed
actually. So when I went onto the networks and stuff, I don't know if this is.
That's it. Yeah.
So I went on the network and stuff, and it said that who can join my party, who can join my game.
Right.
Now I've changed it to friends, so you can only have
okay.
When I first played it was only saying I could only change it to
everybody or no one.
Yeah. Where now I can change it to. It's also got more than that though. It's also for invited people. So you can either have it completely open, invited people, friends, or closed.
Right. Okay.
So there's a lot more choice, and it's not only just for that. It's for there's another setting in there as well. I can't remember what it was.
Mm. Well, I think that's quite good. More control over that environment is a good thing. Because to be honest, one of my most enjoyable things now about No Man's Sky is the multiplayer, is the chatting and the mucking about with someone else that's also got the game.
Yeah.
I don't know whether any of our No Man's Sky chat from yesterday will make it into the final released one, but I did say yesterday, I've had fun playing with people online and helping them get through. It's been a really good part of the game, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
I'll have to get you to come on with me at some point again and help me through it again.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you've just restarted a new game, I can join your game, and I have resources that I can just help you through the bits that you've seen. Then I just can help shortcut that. But with someone that's new to the game, it's quite important not to just shortcut everything. Otherwise, you're just spoiling the game, aren't you? Because I mean, it is. It's all a lovely long grind. That's all it's about.
The grind is real.
And that's what it's for.
It is. Yeah.
It's a grindy time.
A grindy time.
Yes. Sync, but it's a grindy time sync.
That is a perfect. That's a perfect T-shirt design. Happy grindy time.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be a picture of a multi-tool on it or something.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. You should do that.
Oh, there we go. Right then. So yes, we've talked about No Man's Sky. So we'll throw back to our past selves. And
yes, so let's get Jeff in.
Yeah, let's come on, Jeff. Come join us now. Right then, we'll see you in a minute, guys.
Yeah.
Let's move on. So obviously it's been like a month and a half, 2 months. What have you guys been playing since last spoke?
Who wants to go first?
Go on, whoever.
Go on, Jeff, you go.
Ever since that Tomb Raider came out, so I was playing that. I still haven't beaten it yet, and I'm choosing not to because I don't want it to end. So I'm like probably 2/3 of the way through, and I'm kind of like leaving it for like a rainy day to finish it.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
So that game is really good. You know me, I always get sucked into Ark every once in a while, so I was on Ark for a little bit. And then let's see, I did something else too. I tried Boundless because a guy Simtex, he's in with Cobra and stuff like that.
That's like the Minecrafty version of
Sky, I tried it and everything, and it's a cool idea. It just couldn't grab my attention for a long time. So I mean, I still have it. So hopefully the updates will kind of fix it a little bit, add at least more content to it. And now I've been playing. Obviously, Red Dead came out. A game
did you get it?
Yeah, a game that I originally said I wasn't really too interested in, and after watching some people's gameplay, I broke down and I got it. And it's a pretty fun game. It's not perfect by any means.
No.
But I mean, it's probably gonna. I mean, I don't know when they do the voting for Game of the Year, but it's probably gonna get Game of the Year. It probably deserves it. I mean, to be honest, it's a AAA polished game that's really good and looks really good and it plays good, and I mean, there's a few problems with it, but I mean, for the most part, that's top flight right there. You know what I'm saying? So
8 years well worth of work.
It's just tied to my time until Fallout 76 comes out. So yeah, I know you're not excited. I know you're not excited about that, but I'm super hyped for Fallout 76.
Did you play the beta?
No, I can't do it until, well, I mean, if I haven't pre-ordered it yet, just because I was really turned off by how Bethesda has been doing their beta access for it, because Xbox had it a week early, and they only got to play for like less than 10 hours during that full week.
Really?
And, it's
kind of like a staggered.
Yeah, Bethesda got a huge bad publicity off that, and I don't know what they're doing as far as that's concerned. Like only letting people play for like 2 hours here and 2 hours there, and I don't know. I'm not spending money to play for only 5 or 10 hours before it releases. I'll just wait for it to release and get it that. So I mean, if I was going to play it anywhere, I'm getting it for my PS4. So PS4 doesn't get the beta until October 30th. Right. So, but I probably won't be pre-ordering it. So, if I do, I'll do it like the day before, just so I can get whatever pre-order bonuses there are. Yeah. But I'm not doing it to get into the beta because Bethesda really screw themselves over with that. I mean, it's pathetic. what they're doing with their beta times and shit. So I don't know.
Is there a reason why they're doing it like that? Or...
Oh, they're saying it's like, oh, we want to cram people in there and whatever. But dude, at the same time, when they released a beta, like, dude, Red Dead was coming out. So like they had beta times open yesterday and today for like 2 hours. And I went on Twitch to see what people were streaming it. And dude, Fallout 76 only had like a couple thousand people watching. And Red Dead had like almost 200,000 people watching. Yeah. Like, you know, like why would you have beta times open on a weekend where...
Yeah, well, especially limited beta times.
Yeah, especially limited beta times the day after the biggest game of the year came out. Like, they're saying they want to stress, you know, they want to cram as many people in as their servers. But guess what, dude? No one's playing your game because everybody else is playing Red Dead.
Yeah.
Not even getting like an accurate number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I don't know. I mean... It's a bold move by Bethesda to even launch that game now anyways. I mean, I think if anybody launches any game around this time, you're really going to be hurting your sales. I mean, dude, the
thing is, though, I mean, Bethesda obviously still are a heavy hitter. It's just, I mean...
Not as big as Rockstar, though, man. Like,
no, but if you think about it, the game doesn't actually come out, when is it, November?
November 14th, 15th, or something like that.
Well, that's still like half a month after Red Dead.
Yeah, but dude, Red Dead's online launches in November. So I mean,
I agree, but that's probably their main competition, isn't it? Red Dead. Sorry, the Red Dead multiplayer is more. Let's be honest, the whole GTA 5 is pretty much two games. There's the solo game, and then there's obviously the online game.
Right.
And it'll be the same with Red Dead as well.
Yeah. Which I don't think Red Dead's online is going to be very good. So I mean, I bought the game. Why not? Dude, where's the content? Like,
have you not seen the single player content like the?
No, I get it, but okay, you know why GTA 5 is good is because it's based in our time period, so you can have multiple different types of cars. You can have airplanes. You can have multiple different types of weapons. You can have buildings and stuff like that. Like, dude, in Red Dead, you have like a couple revolvers and a couple pistols and a couple rifles, and that's it. Like, you're limited by the time period. So, like, dude, like, I don't want to have a stable of horses and shit. Like, there's no airplanes. What are you gonna fly around in a fucking hot air balloon? Like, come on, like. You know,
they do it with what you call it.
But dude, there's I mean, dude, and like I said, there's no airplane. Like, dude, there's so much content in GTA 5 online that when I see GTA 5 online and see all the content they have, and then I look at Red Dead and the time period they're trying to base it off of, it's not even half of the content maybe of what they could probably.
I think it's gonna not change your mind, but I think you'll give it the credit that it deserves once it comes out.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to be good. Because the gameplay itself is good. But I'm just saying that, like, just longevity of content, I don't think it's going to be there. Because there's only going to be so many things they could add to the game as far as weapons, or there's not even no vehicles. So you can't even say vehicles. So different types of horses, I guess. Like, I mean, what are they going to... what are they going to do? Break down and put the Back to the Future car in there because it was in one of the movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no. And
it's the steam train, not the car. Remember?
Yeah, well, dude, there's just longevity purposes. There's not enough content to keep it going as they did.
You say that though, but I don't think we ever imagined that in GTA Online you'd get transforming cars.
No, but I always knew there was going to be airplanes. I always knew there was going to be freaking boats. There's no, you know what I'm saying? Like, jets.
Yeah, there is boats.
There's no, like, dude, there's like steamboats that do like
I've
2
been in
miles
a rowing
an
boat
hour.
On it.
A rowboat, a canoe. You're gonna put a Gatling gun.
Who doesn't want to go fishing in their rowing boat?
You're gonna put a Gatling gun on a canoe. Is that what's going on?
Why not?
But
no,
I can.
Go on, Karen.
No, it's one thing I have say going for Red Dead is that the map is really big. So I'm hoping that they can I'm hoping that they can cram like a lot more people, like 30. Excuse me, maybe like 32 people onto a map because the map is big enough for it. And
but I think that's the problem. That the GTA 5 map, whilst it is quite big, it's very dense with stuff. But the map, as far as I've seen it so far in Red Dead, is, it's quite sparsely populated, deliberately so, because they're trying to evoke the period. And I think that's a problem. I got to agree with Jeff. You can do some heists, train robberies and bank robberies and breaking some people out of jail. But once you've done a few of those sort of, what else is there?
Yeah, there's not much, man.
We can't. I know they have said it is going to be more of a similar thing to GTA Online, because from the original Red Dead Redemption, their online mode was pretty much more like the individual shootouts, wasn't it? If either of you played the original Red Dead Online, it was more like I said, like that, where you go into matches against other people. So, but they have, like I said, they have said that it's going to be more akin to GTA Online. I mean, like you said, hopefully, because it is so big, maybe they'll do more of they'll put more people into the map instead. It is sparsely populated with, obviously, AI and traffic on pathways and stuff. But I think it makes up. It's weird to describe, because it's more detailed than what GTA is to a certain degree, because obviously they focus more on the environments rather than obviously things like buildings, such stuff like that. I mean, it's weird to. It is weird. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's going to be better than GTA Online. I still think.
I don't think so.
No, that's me. I don't think it's going to be better than GTA Online. I don't think it will be. It's just going to be hard to get my head around, like you said, because it is such a big map. What are they going to put in the game? My only thing I think of is they'll add, like you said, they'll probably not add more horses, or if they do, it'll be just silly horses. It's like in GTA Online, they add silly extra vehicles to it all the time.
Maybe they'll put a jetpack on a horse or something like that, and the horses will fly around or something.
Or even carts. They'll probably allow you to build carts, not build carts, but buy carts to attach to the horses or whatever.
I had a long discussion with a guy I work with about this, because he's been so hyped up over Red Dead, and we just keep on going back and forth, and I'm like, give me your ideas of what the online content's going to be, and it stops short really fast. And
it depends what you class as online content, or do you mean
just add-ons? I mean,
yeah, but you can add clothes constantly to Red Dead Redemption 2.
But that's not content though. It's just add-ons.
Well, it depends. That's what I mean. It depends what you class as content, doesn't it?
I'm talking I take GTA. Whenever they have their updates, they always add in new vehicles.
Yeah, but they always add in new clothes as well.
True, I understand that,
and that's classed as content, isn't it? It's free content at the end of the day. You're not paying extra.
Yeah, but you know what? They don't make their money, especially when they're selling shark cards to people. They don't make their money because people are buying clothes. They make their mony because people want to buy new vehicles in the game, or boats.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Or airplanes. You know what I'm saying?
They will add things like new guns and stuff.
Yeah, but there wasn't that, so they're going to have to make that up, because there wasn't even that many types of guns back then.
Yeah, but that's what I mean though. In GTA Online, they made stuff up. They made transforming vehicles. They made cars drive on tracks that go upside down.
Yeah, but
you can't really do that stuff.
Probably 90% of their guns in the game are actual guns that are either identical or represent real guns in real life.
That's what I mean though. On the online mode, you're not going to be playing the online mode for the immersion of the game, are you really? That's what the single player part of the game is, which is the same with GTA Online and GTA single player mode. You play for the more immersion, you'll play the single player mode. The online mode is just to dick around with your friends on.
Yeah, but that's in my opinion, that's the best part of the game. I mean, that's where the longevity of the game is. The single player is cool and everything, but once you're done with it, what are you going to do? Go back and play it over again? It's the same exact thing. So, it's not
yeah, that's what I mean, though. It doesn't matter what they do with the online stuff. They can just add, stupidly created guns, it doesn't matter because no one's playing the online one for the immersion factor. They're playing it just to stick around with.
Right. I don't know. I just
so they can add,
I compare it. I just like to compare the two together, and I just don't see the longevity of it. That's all. Not like it is. Not like GTA 5 Online.
We probably thought the same though when GTA Online first came out. Though we wouldn't have imagined the amount of stuff they've added to it, and considering the game's how old now? 5-6 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, they have added a lot over time.
Yeah.
However,
I mean, when it first came out, you wouldn't have thought this thing would still be going for 5-6 years.
But that's the thing, though. They had a lot to build off of because there were so many things they could grab at. In this game,
but that's what I mean, though. Like, to begin with, you didn't think it would last this long. Like the online mode for GTA, you didn't look at it and think, "Oh,
no." But I saw the potential.
But stuff. Yeah, sure.
They could do.
But we can't say like for definite that it won't be the same situation with Red Dead Online.
Talk to me in 5 years and maybe I'll be wrong. But I mean, unless they put flying horse and buggies or just put fucking futuristic cars and shit in there or whatever. I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, they might break that.
You'll play GTA Online, won't you?
True. I mean, but flying cars. I mean, but I'm assuming that they're going to use this game as their next fill-in because they already came out and said that they're not going to be making another GTA anytime soon. I mean, there might be 5 more years until we even see another GTA. So, I mean, this is the takeover of GTA Online. I mean,
I know the currency, the in-game currency is transferable, like the GTA dollars. They work for both games.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Because if you pre-ordered the Uber Super Special Edition version of Red Dead Redemption, you've got like online stuff as well. Mm-hmm. And one of those online stuff is something like 2 million GTA credits.
Yeah, so that's not saying that the in-game credit is transferable, though, is it?
No,
but I don't think it's called GTA credits. You would have thought, why would you call the in-game?
I'm pretty sure it specifically states for GTA Online. So I mean, I'm pretty sure because the thing that I ordered, you got money, GTA money, and any single copy that you pre-ordered, whether it was just a standard edition deluxe or the super duper deluxe or whatever, it was the amount that changed. So like on mine, I got like 500,000 because I just ordered the regular version. So I got like 500,000 GTA credits or whatever. But that went to GTA Online. That wasn't for cross-play between games. It was just for GTA Online. But it would make sense if you could do that, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
There'd need to be an exchange rate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you can't have people... There's people that have that billions and billions of dollars. Like, you can't, like, people, like, just go into the game brand new with billions of dollars.
Yeah, and $1 in 1896 or... When is it set? I forget now.
1899?
7?
Late 1800s. How about that?
just before
that's a whole century.
Just before 1900. It's set in the 1890s, and so $1 then is worth a dance like more than $1 in GTA 5 land, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anyway, I will be very interested to see how it goes, and I'm looking forward to us talking in 5 years to welcome in the Red Dead Redemption Harry Potter expansion.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, then. So, Kings, what have you been playing last couple of months?
Well, when Jeff and I last spoke, he was talking about how good the second of the reboot Tomb Raiders was. So I picked that up, and I've been playing that a bit, and so yeah, it's really, really good. Unfortunately, I got sidetracked with other things, so I'm not a huge amount into the game, but I will definitely go back and play it again. Very much enjoying it, and probably by the time I get to the end of it, the latest one will be on sale, so I'll be able to pick that up and carry on.
The third one's really good. The third one, I'll tell you right now, it's one of the best. Like it's really good. Like, it's cool how they did it so that each one follows another, so you could see her progression, like through the first one to the second one to this newest one. They did a really good job on that. I don't know how the third one ends, and I I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I'm sure they're probably going to carry it on to make some new ones or whatever. But I'm really excited to get when I finally get to go to the end to see how it ends, just because I just want to see the conclusion of this whole trilogy. So
yeah, I think that's right. It was written as a trilogy, wasn't it? So there should be some sort of conclusion at the end of the game that you're on.
Well, the whole point of these 3 games is that this is this is her building up to becoming the actual Tomb Raider, which all the other previous games were built off of, like back on PS1, PS2 or whatever. So like this is like the prelude to all of that. Like this is how she got started. So I mean, it's just cool to see her as she grows into her character over these 3 games, and how she, you could really see it. Like you really can like get a sense of like how she does.
Do you think, like me, that this shows how game development has matured as well? You look at the effort that goes into creating that character of Lara Croft in these new games versus the stereotypical, we're just going to put someone there that 15-year-old boys will want to play as in the early games, with very little in a way. Well, there was some character, but it's nothing like what you get in the current games.
No, this is real. I mean, in my opinion, like, it's really thought out. I don't know if they had this planned since the very first game, but I think after they did the first one and okay, like here, let's just carry this on. Like I'm sure they had like an overall story arc. So they were probably like, okay, so this is like Trinity, like, these are the bad guys, so they're going to run with that. Like, how can we do this and that? And I just think that, like, maybe they didn't have, like, the whole trilogy planned out back in early 2000s or whatever. But, I mean, I'm sure as this grew and went on, I'm sure, like, they were like, okay, this is how we can link this together, and this is how we can tell this story over time. And, so I wish other games companies would do what they do, like, and just don't make a game just to make a game. Like I wish they would like take like a long approach and be like, okay, so if we're going to make 3 copies of this game over a 10-year period, let's actually make a storyboard and actually kind of plan this out accordingly.
Yeah, sure. However, I'm sure that most game developers don't have the luxury of knowing that they'll be around to do games 2 and 3, so that's they may have an idea, but they can't put too much effort into.
Well, you know
games
what, man,
2 and 3.
That comes down to, if you make a quality game, people are going to buy it, and that will keep you going. True. I mean, it helps to have like such an iconic character like Lara Croft. Like if you're a game company, you're making a brand new character or a hero or everything like that. That would be hard to keep it going unless it was really good. But I mean, dude, Lara Croft's been around forever, a character, so she's kind of like an iconic female character. So I mean, it's kind of easy to, there's a following. I mean, like there's people that follow the game since the beginning, and they just want to just play as the character and just do the story. I mean, sure. So so that's probably what allows them to kind of do what they're doing. So they have the luxury of that. Dude, they do that with Uncharted, the Uncharted series on PlayStation. I mean, they have a character they've been building for years and years and years now. So, and people go out and religiously buy that game, So whether the stories link to each other or whatever, I mean, people are still going to buy it.
Yeah, well, I mean, Uncharted is interesting because you've got the 4 Uncharted games, and effectively that's it as far as Nathan Drake's concerned. We've had the spin-off of the Lost Legacy, but Drake wasn't in that. I'd be very interested in seeing that have a follow-up, but it will be interesting to see what happens with Uncharted. But for me, the enjoyment of the modern Tomb Raiders, Uncharted, and say The Last of Us, I love them, and indeed Red Dead Redemption 2 and 1 is, I love the single player story driven games. Uncharted is very much a pretty corridor that you're just sort of a player in a movie that's very directed. and Red Dead is much more open, and you decide when you pick up each of the story beats. But just the joy of playing through this nicely crafted story moments, I just love them all. And going back to the Red Dead 2 discussion, it really doesn't matter to me what the online mode is going to be like. I will dip in, but I probably won't do very much of it. It's all about the story as far as I'm concerned. But,
well, when I bought Red Dead, I didn't buy it for the online. I just bought it because I knew the single player was going to be really good. You know, if I don't play a minute of the online, like, it won't hurt my feelings. Like, that's not what I bought the game for. Just because, like, I have my own opinion on what I think the online is going to be. So for me, like, the story of the Red Dead game is really why I want to go with it. And I'm happy that they held off opening up the online for the game, because they just solely focus on the story mission and the actual story of the game, instead of me like playing like a couple hours of story and then let me go see what the online is. You know what I'm saying? And breaking up that time. I'm glad they did that, because it really allows me to kind of just focus solely on the story of the game, which is what I bought the game for originally, anyways.
Yeah, me too, definitely. And I have been playing it. Not a huge amount through the story yet, but very, very much enjoying it. Liking meeting strangers, doing weird things, and I don't know what else to say really, other than did I miss it, or was there no difficulty setting at the beginning?
No, there is
no difficulty. No.
Yeah, that must be why I'm dying a lot. I always set everything on easy. This isn't fair.
It gets really hard. Like, my character has like full 300 bounty in like every single area that I've been in so far, and there's like bounty hunters everywhere, and it's really hard for me to do anything now. Like, I'm kind of like I don't have enough money to pay off the bounty, so I'm just like, oh man, like, it's really hard to play the game now. So
I did a few bad things and got a bounty, and I found it the same as you. You just can't do anything because you keep getting accosted. So. Yeah, I just spent the money, paid off the bounty, and despite what I was originally going to do, I am now just going to be going to be good, just so it's easier.
See, I made a decision at the beginning to play a bad character. Just
and you've stuck with
every single bad thing. Every single bad thing that I could possibly do, like, that was my whole thing. I'm like, because he has that meter where it's like good or bad, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm doing everything bad. I'm just going to be a bad guy in this game, and it's not the right choice unless you have a lot of money. Like,
well, I think you're playing it right, because the main character, whose name I've forgotten,
Arthur Morgan.
Arthur, thank you. Yeah, he's clearly a less moral character than John Marston was in the first. John may have done bad things originally, but when you're playing him in Red Dead 1, he's trying to live a good life. So it sort of drove you down the good path. Whereas Arthur Morgan, really, you should be doing the bad path, shouldn't you? And you should be robbing people.
I don't know.
Oh, do you disagree?
I don't fully disagree, but I think it's a grey area, because obviously in the first one, the whole gang thing is, they're pretty much on the way out. The whole gang mentality is on the way out. So, what you said, like, where John Marston's kind of trying to be good, it's not that he's trying, he's being blackmailed, if you remember.
Yeah.
See, right at the beginning of Red Dead 1, he dropped off by the Pinkerton. Is it Pinkerton?
Or the sheriffs, yeah.
Yeah, the sheriffs, whoever, right at the beginning to obviously search out search out Dutch and everything. So that's the whole premise of the game, is you're trying to get them to get your family back. So you're kind of being blackmailed into doing so.
Yeah, sure. But
and obviously along the way, obviously his morality.
Well, I've been told that this new game, Red Dead 2, is actually a prequel to the first one.
It is.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah, because you see John Marston. In the game, I'm not going to say where or when or how, but yeah, you do.
Don't give me any spoilers, because I never played the first one, so I don't know how the story ends in the first one.
So you might have. I expect you've gone past the bit where you meet John Marston, but you didn't realise.
Yeah, he's obviously done the mountain bit, hasn't he? Right at the beginning. That's where you meet John.
Yeah, you rescue him, don't you?
Yeah.
That bloke you rescued on the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
That's John Marston.
Okay.
That's who you play as in Red Dead 1.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Well, Red Dead Redemption. Obviously, there was Red Dead Revolver before that.
Never played that.
It's not a great game. It's on rails. So if you think Time Crisis, but cowboys.
Okay.
And you're on horseback, so it's very much a rail shooter. But yeah, going back to what his morality of Arthur is, I think he's a lot more aware of the change that's going to occur to their way of life as you get further into the game. He starts talking about how he feels like they should be doing a different. I mean, I don't know if this is based on obviously your choices in the game, but from what I've played so far, he talks about how he thinks they should be doing something different. What Dutch is suggesting they're doing, and stuff like that. And obviously Dutch is very much of an old school, trying to keep that way of life going. And whereas Arthur's a bit more aware that their time is running out. That their way of life is running out of time. So I think is a lot more of a multifaceted character than being completely bad or good.
Absolutely. No one's entirely good or entirely evil in these games. They're multifaceted.
Yeah.
But I think John Marston is definitely more point. You know, his moral compass is pointing north and good, whereas Arthur Morgan is very much less so.
I don't know. I think it's just the situation that it's in, though, because obviously you look at John Marston because he's kind of like the lone figure in the whole story, kind of thing. Is like, whereas in Red Dead 2 you've got this whole you got like a family kind of thing, haven't you?
You do, yeah.
Situation. So with all your gang, you got to try and feed them.
Oh no, yeah, I keep feeling obliged to go and
feed
give them stuff,
ammo and supplies and stuff like that. And in that way, it kind of shows like you may do all the bad stuff, but you're doing it for a good reason in a way. So it's just to feed your family in some kind of sense. Whereas obviously it's limited by the technology at the time, but in Red Dead 1, obviously you didn't have to do any of that. You're the lone character, so you could literally do whatever you want, but because the story drives you towards trying to save your family, it makes you look as if you're doing it for all the good reasons, kind of thing. But no, I actually really, I wasn't sure about the character to begin with, but I really like Arthur Morgan.
What I find annoying is that his voice isn't as distinctive as John Marston's was. So
yeah, it's kind of more of a generic cowboy.
Yeah, and it blends in with some of the other characters. So half the time I can't tell who's saying what. I had to turn on the subtitles and the
you're right about that.
Yeah, well, I always turn the subtitles on anyway because having kids around, it's kind of hard to listen to everything anyway. For some reason, I kept thinking it was the guy who plays Thanos in the Avengers film.
Yeah, I know the film, but I'm doing the necessary search.
Saying Josh Brolin.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Kind of looks like him. He did a film which was a DC-based film based on DC Comics, sorry. That was called, look it up, Jonah Hex. It was kind of like a bounty cowboy thing. It just reminds me of him. It kind of reminded me of Josh Brolin a little bit. It kind of looks like him a little bit. Have you given him a shave yet?
Yeah,
a haircut.
Yeah.
I love that. That's like one of my favourite features of the game.
Like, it takes a while for it to grow back too.
It does.
It takes a long time. It takes a long time. I've got
same thing with the hair too. The hair takes a long time to grow back too, which is cool.
Yeah, I think I shaved the beard off as soon as I was able to, and I just waited to see how long it would grow. just to grow back. And I think I played it. Oh, God knows how many hours. I think the first day it came out, I played it from about 5 in the morning until about 10 o'clock at night straight.
Damn.
Yeah. And then I think the next day, I didn't play it for as long as the next day, but I still played it for like a considerable amount of time. And in all that time, and all those obviously days that passed in the game, it grew back to like the 3rd bar. Not, I think it starts on the 5th one when you first are able to shape his beard and stuff. But it only grew up like third bar. In those 2 days that I played it, but it does take a while. But I love that feature, like how you can't, if you want to grow a certain beard or whatever, you've got to like actually wait for it to do it.
Yeah. This
game is so immersive.
Yeah, it's really going for the detail, isn't it?
Yeah, I think like Jeff said earlier, like it has got its problems. I think it probably is the most immersive game
definitely
that's ever been created.
It clearly shows you, like, when people are like, oh, AAA opposed to indie studios or whatever, like, it clearly shows you there's a huge difference between a well-established AAA studio compared to, like, an indie studio that's doing amazing things. You know, like, it's...
Well, I mean, it's not only that, though. I mean, they've got the bankroll, haven't they, as well?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's...
I mean, and plus they've worked on it for 8 years, so...
It's really good. Like I said, it has its problems. It's not perfect, but I mean, overall, like it surprised me. Where going into it, I wasn't even like very interested, and then as soon as I started seeing gameplay, I went out and got it. So it completely switched me around just off of what I seen. And I'm not regretting one bit buying it either. Like it's really, really good.
So, yeah, I can't add it to my game of the year. I mean, I can add it to my game of the year, but I don't think I could add it to the game of the year because I haven't played things like.
Well, what the hell?
God of War.
I mean, what the hell else is coming out this year that's even close to it? I mean,
God of War came out earlier.
Yeah, I mean
that got 10 out of 10 as well on multiple sites.
I think this is better than God of War, man. I played God of War and it's a good game. It's not as good as this.
What else was there? Pretty sure there's another. Oh, Spider-Man. Spider-Man was really good. I have not played Spider-Man, so. Well, I'll tell you what I've been playing then since.
Yeah. See, now you're given console exclusive games. Like Red Dead's on all consoles, so I mean, like I
agreed.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like you're only.
But it's game of the year. It's not console game of the year, is it? It's game of the year.
Yeah, it's game of the year. So you have to have everything. Xbox and PlayStation.
No, because obviously Zelda won Game of the Year last year.
Yeah, I guess
that's only on Switch.
True. I mean, there wasn't really that many good games last year either. So I mean,
no, but I mean, if Zelda came out this year, would it still win? It would be up there.
No.
Oh, it was. Did you play Zelda?
No.
Well then, you cannot say.
Well, whose rules are these anyway? Game of the year is just what I think is my game of the year.
No, there is the Game Awards and there is the Game of the Year.
All right, but if you ask me what my game of the year is, it might be a game that was made 5 years ago. It's just I played it this year.
Your game would be that heading game for the VR.
And my
yes, Headmaster.
Zelda was the first one, so.
Right. Oh, let me think back then. So. Right, I think.
Almost. I'll be done in a couple minutes.
Main games, what were we playing? So, Spider-Man on PS4 was just amazing.
Have you played all the way through that?
I have, yes. I haven't played the DLC yet.
Okay, yeah.
But I haven't played the main story. I've completed it. That was fantastic. I think what's even better is the fact that it's an original story. It's not a Marvel comic story at all.
Okay. So it's all new. So you weren't able to expect or anticipate anything.
It is Peter Parker, but it's not any of the Peter Parkers from any of the comics or anything or any of the films.
I got turned off by Spider-Man because of how much like millennial hipster shit that I seen in the the previews of it. Like, that's not my hashtag. Not my Spider-Man.
It's fair. I don't know what it is. It's just it's literally a great Spider-Man, and I think they've done such an amazing job on the city is a character in its own.
I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's really good.
It's so good. I mean, like, Peter isn't even the best part of it, I don't think. I think the city is the best part of it. Like, the amount of technology that went into making the city is unbelievable. Like, you can look inside every single window in the city, and there's a room inside.
Did you see from the new Spider-Man? Did you see what people discovered? What the character model looks like of the people that are in the boats in the harbor?
No.
Oh my! It's worse. It's worse than Minecraft. Like the actual.
I guess
someone actually jumped out there and like seeing who like the people that are on the boat and like the character model is really bad. Which I don't blame them because it's just a guy in a boat or whatever. But it's pretty funny when you actually see it.
It will be. But I know, like I said, I mean, what other games do you know where every single building pretty much you can look in the window and there's a room inside it?
Not many. So I'll give it that. So.
I don't know. It's just. I mean, some of the enemies are pretty repetitive in it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's always like a foot soldier, then like one of the big guys, and then that kind of mentality. But it's just being in a different outfit kind of thing for the criminals. Then there's the like organizations and stuff. It's just rehashed, which is a shame. But apart from that, it's so good. What else have I been playing? Obviously. Because I'm a massive football fan, I've been playing Football Manager as well. That came out. The world's biggest RPG, as I like to call it.
I thought the world's biggest RPG was Farming Simulator.
No. You just don't understand. Football Manager is just this. It's just
probably on the same level, right?
It's better. It's a world with an infinite amount of NPCs in it. It's the best RPG ever. But yeah, I've been playing that. Obviously, Red Dead what came out as well. I've been just completely obliterating that. I think I'm only like 32% of the way through the story. Like I said, I've spent that much amount of time over the last 3 days?
Yeah.
3 days since it's come out. I've been playing it pretty much non-stop, and I've only got 32% of the way through.
No heading.
So yeah, and then I think that's it. Let me just double check. Oh, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh right, you've been playing that as well.
That's such a great game.
I heard really good things about that.
Did you play? Did you play Oranges?
Yes.
Okay.
I played Oranges. Yes. I think I liked Origins as well. I think my own problem with Origins is the map's just very. Not linear, but it's just one massive block of land because it is Egypt.
Okay.
Obviously, Egypt is just the corner of Africa, isn't it? It's that top right hand corner of Africa. It's not like where Greece is obviously loads of little islands. Egypt is just one solid landmass, and the regions are split up. You can't tell that you're going from one region to another, really.
Okay.
Whereas on this game, pretty much one region is one island, split into smaller parts. And then you go on your boat. It's a cross of like Origins and Black Flag, so you got the boat system back in it again.
Yeah, I did like that.
Yeah. Obviously you don't have cannons. You have bows and arrows and spears instead.
Yeah, sure.
So, but it's such a really good game. I think Black Horse. Black Horse. Oh.
Yeah,
the game that you didn't realise would possibly be Game of the Year would be that game.
Okay.
So everyone kind of bashes on Assassin's Creed to some extent. Because, it's
especially bringing out Odyssey, just a year after Origins.
Yeah. But then again, Origins took 2 years out, doesn't it, as well?
It did, and it needed it.
Yeah. Origins was good.
But
I'm not saying it was a bad game.
I'm 3 games behind now with Assassin's Creed because I haven't played Syndicate. Origins.
See, Syndicate was supposed to be good as well.
Yes, I'd like to play Syndicate. Well, basically because it's in London, isn't it? So
yeah. Well, I never played Syndicate.
Right. Okay. No, it's supposed to be quite good, but
yeah.
I know. They always come down in price very quickly.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would definitely suggest get Odyssey when it comes out in price.
Well, just the draw of Greece.
Yeah.
Really want to do
the map. The map is beautiful. The map is just incredible.
But there's only room for one open world game at a time, I think. Otherwise, you just get confused.
Nope.
Well, I have limited games.
It depends because it's very different to Red Dead in the way that its RPG mechanics work.
That would just confuse me.
Well, it's not very different as in like there's a vast array of like, because obviously Red Dead is really in depth, like the amount of buttons that you got to press and things.
Yeah.
Notice.
Whereas elite.
Yeah, whereas the RPG systems like the weapons in Assassin's Creed is probably more in depth, so like all your armor and stuff. Whereas in Red Dead you pretty much just choose whatever you want to wear and then pick whatever gun you want to use, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, whereas in Red Dead it's more focused on like getting better weapons and swapping them out,
right,
and stuff like that. So that's pretty much where its main change is.
How's the combat in Odyssey?
Good.
Assassin's Creed, all the ones I've played has just basically been parry, 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 whack, parry, whack, parry, whack.
Well,
that's about it.
Yeah, well, in Origins they changed it, didn't they? So it's not a I forgot what the term is. It was some kind of bounding box beforehand, I think. So you literally could just attack them and then.
Well, they would line up nicely, and you could just take on one at a time, and they would.
Whereas now,
the others would politely wait.
Yeah, whereas now it's not like that. It's you've got to literally hit them.
Okay.
Otherwise, because they'll dodge out the way properly, you've got to dodge, and there's like it's more in kin to things like the Get Good games. So like, what they're called?
Thank you.
Dark Souls and stuff like that. So you got to try and like avoid their attacks and hit them when they've already attacked and stuff like that.
Screw Dark Souls. Don't tell me it's like Dark Souls, or I won't want to play it.
It's not like hard like Dark Souls, but I mean like the fighting style is more like, so you got to try and time your dodges and things to get them. Yeah, trust me, it's not as hard as that.
Well, I can understand them changing it because it was a fairly easy part of the game, wasn't it?
Yeah. But there is a difficulty settings on Assassin's Creed.
Hooray!
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. The only thing that I'm really looking forward to now is just a little indie game that comes out in a couple of days. So that's let me just double check what it's called before I get it wrong. Project Hospital on Steam.
Project Hospital, is that anything like Theme Hospital?
Well, obviously, Theme Hospital has just been remade.
Is it?
Yes. Did you not know this?
No.
Well, it's called. Is it Take Two? We just double check.
Yes.
Hello, little one. Yes. 2 Point Hospital. 2 Point Hospital. It's been made by like the same people who made Theme Hospital.
Right. Okay.
Nice.
But
it's been modernised. But this one's like a proper serious version of the hospital simulator.
Right.
So think, or what's the roller coaster? Not Roller Coaster Tycoon, but the really serious one that came out recently.
Yes. I remember. Yeah. So okay. So not Surgeon Simulator.
No, it's like a proper down 2D top down. Not 2D, it'd be 3D top down, but it's really like I'm really excited for it because I just love that kind of like simulation management.
Look forward to hearing about it.
Yes. But yeah, that's the only thing. I was going to get Pokemon at the end of the year, but I've decided against it because I'm not a big fan of the Pokemon on the phone. The Pokemon Go.
Never played
Don't
Pokemon.
say this. Don't talk bad about that.
Don't get me wrong. I really wish I wanted to like the fact.
It's my guilty pleasure.
I'm not a guilty pleasure fan. I just love Pokemon altogether. But I just don't like the fact there's no Pokemon battles in it apart from the gyms and the other trainers. You can't fight like the Pokemon that are wild. You just throw the Pokeballs at them and that's it. But I will get the proper Pokemon game that comes out next year instead, though. So, yeah. But yeah, that's it. Okay, then, as we were talking about it, what would your game of the year be if you had to choose right now?
Oh, that's hard, isn't it?
Based on what you played, not obviously what's coming out.
It's probably Red Dead Redemption 2, but I can't say for sure because I haven't played enough of it yet. But I'm sure it will be. But the amount of fun also I have had with No Man's Sky since Next, it's got to be up there. I've put in so many hours in it.
But that didn't release this year, though. I mean, it just had an update this year, but not a new release.
That's Agreed. The thing with the Game of the Year is Game of the Year is a really ambiguous term because you're just saying the Game of the Year, aren't you? Not saying new Game of the Year. But I think there should be like a two separate categories where one is like Game of the Year, which has just come out, and the other should be like longevity. You don't mean something to do with what's had the best.
I can only tell you what I've played and what I've enjoyed this year, and those are the two games that jump to mind the most.
I think mine would either be because I haven't played God of War because I'm not a fan of previous ones. I just don't like that whole. I like quick time events, but I just hate the camera angles. Like I downloaded was it God of War 3 that was free on the PlayStation?
One of them was, yeah.
Yeah, and I tried playing that again, and I was like, I just don't like the camera angles. It's just so not stationary, but like some of the camera angles are just stupid. I know that game's probably about 10 years old now, but it's just like no.
So what would you pick?
It would either be Spider-Man or Red Dead.
Right.
I just like the whole original story of Spider-Man was just so good. Like I said, I think with Red Dead, because obviously the campaign alone is 60 hours, so until I finished the campaign, I couldn't say. Right now, it would be Spider-Man and then Red Dead.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll ask you again at Christmas.
Because obviously I've finished the main story of Spider-Man. So yeah, Jeff.
For me, in with my head talking, it probably should be Red Dead, but in my heart, Fallout for me is probably like for me personally.
What you've played now.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not out yet, but like, it's just that's the one I've been looking forward to ever since I heard about it. So
I'm gonna feel so bad if it's like really bad.
Dude. Honestly, man, it's probably gonna be really bad. But I'm still gonna love it. I mean, I'm still like it's like how like the majority of people shit on No Man's Sky still, but like for me, like I love the game. People have been probably gonna shit on the new Fallout, but for me, I'm gonna love it. But honestly, like, if you want me my honest opinion, dude, for what I played so far of Red Dead, like, it deserves it. Like, I haven't seen another game as polished as that come out this year. You know what I'm saying? Just as far as everything from story to just everything, it's a complete package. Like, it's just so good. Yeah. Like, I haven't seen another game come out this year that's that detailed. As far as just the overall environment.
The immersion is just unbelievable.
The immersion of the game, like, there's nothing out like it. Like, God of War was good, and it was a really good game and a really good story, but it was nowhere near as immersive as Red Dead. And I guess, like, when you take Game of the Year in consideration, like, you have to put everything in consideration. It's not just just gameplay or whatever. Like, you have to add everything together, and, like, this is
the complete game.
Yeah, for a complete game from top to bottom, like I don't think there's another game that came out this year that's gonna be as good as that. So
yeah, I think it's like you said, like it doesn't even seem that buggy. Like I haven't come across like anything buggy really either.
No, I haven't. And I've been looking too. Like I've been looking for like either glitches or bugs or anything like that. I have not seen anything.
The only thing that I've noticed occasionally, so if you kill someone and they die in like a weird place or position, their body just disappears.
Right.
And it's the same with like you can sell the carts. If you steal someone's cart,
yeah,
you can sell it to another guy. If you get off the cart, go inside a building, then come out, the cart's gone.
right.
Like even if you only go in for like literally like 10 seconds. I went in to pay a bounty, came back out, and it was gone.
Right. Okay.
That's the only like.
But that's
books,
like, I mean, that's kind of the minor, I guess, in the grand scheme.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, maybe not. Maybe like you like that. You're looking for that type of thing. Like, you know, like I don't know. I mean, eventually I don't know. I mean, listen, it's not a perfect game. Like it has its bugs.
No.
Like I don't like the controller layout. I don't like some of the UI in the game. I think it's really bad. The music score of the game like could have been better. I mean, there's not like that much music to go along with anything really. I mean, like it doesn't vary a lot. Like have I seen other games vary? You know what I'm saying? But
the sound it's authentic music though, isn't it?
No, it is. And the sound effects are really good. They're spot on.
Oh,
like the gun
sound effects are, like walking up the stairs. It's never sounded so good before. Like hearing his boots just go up the stairs and things, the echoes and everything.
I just haven't played a game this year that was that well put together. Like okay, Mister, I can hear you talking. That's that well put together than Red Dead is. So
yeah, agreed. I do believe the actual Game Awards themselves is on the 10th of December, sorry. I think. So I don't know whether Fallout falls into this year's votings or not, but we'll have to double check and find out when the closing date for the...
Even if it was, it wouldn't get it. It's a very small class of games that are going to be... I mean, obviously, God of War is going to be there. What Spider-Man will be there. Games from Xbox, you'll probably have like Forza, you know, because like Xbox has 0.0 exclusives. So I mean, like they always have to go back to like Forza or whatever like that. To be
Forza won't be on the list.
But other than that, I mean, it's slim competition. Like Spider-Man, God of War, and Red Dead. That's it.
I think did Super Mario World come out this year? Was it Super Mario World? What is it called?
It's not as good as Red Dead.
No, but it'll still be on the list.
I'm sure, but it's not.
Yeah.
No Nintendo games are winning it this year. I can guarantee you that.
I think that did get a 10 as well, didn't it? I'm trying to think, or a 9 point something anyway. Let us know what your game of the year would be in the comments down below. Let us know if you've been playing Red Dead Redemption, what your thoughts are as well. Let us know what your thoughts are on the Abyss piece of DLC, what's coming out this week.
And all my Fallout 76 people, leave your gamer tag. I'm playing on PlayStation, so let's
blah 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 blah. Yeah, add him. Because no one else is going to be playing it, and he needs someone to play it.
Multigrain pasta on PSN.
Spam him. Give him abuse for playing Fallout 76, what it's called. Is that it? Is that it? Oh, if you want to support the channel, we do have merchandise.
Is that still for sale?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sweet. I want to get that hoodie that you showed me. Is that still for sale?
It's a continuous shop running thing.
Oh,
you just need to place an order, and it'll. I think it takes about 4 days or something. Every 4 days, they'll print off the amount of things that's been sold. Right now, it's only one person, and that is...
That was me.
Kings. I made £3 profit. Thank you very much, Kings.
You're most welcome.
If you still have that hoodie, like I want to get that hoodie that you showed me a picture of.
The link is in the description.
Oh, that was too rich for me. I had to go for a t-shirt, but I'm very pleased with it. Good quality.
I went with the eco when I'm designing them. I went for the eco-friendly t-shirts rather than like the really cheapish, scatty. Cheapest t-shirt that they do.
Very pleased you did. It's excellent.
Yes. So it may be it's the most expensive t-shirt, but it's the most environmentally friendly t-shirt that they do as well. So Got to save all those many planets from the No Man's Sky community.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, billions of them.
Save the Mother Earth, my friend. Save it.
Yeah, save it.
Global warming.
So yes.
Your T-shirts manufacturing is adding to the global warming.
It's not in this case.
I know it's not very trendy, but if you look at the miles that goes into cotton, there's a lot of cotton is grown in the Americas, and then it's shipped all the way over to India to be spun into yarn, and then all the way back to America again to be made into clothes.
Yeah.
And then when it's finished with, it's then recycled back down into Africa as sort of second-hand clothes, and then used in Africans. So the miles of that one article is just unbelievable. Anyway, there we go. Enough of that. Sorry, got me off.
Anyway,
that's probably the end.
Jeff would be perfect at a pub quiz, because that's the kind of question that'll come up at a pub quiz.
What?
Well, not that kind of question, but that kind of fact will come in.
How far does cotton travel?
Yes. How far does the average cotton T-shirt travel in its lifetime?
What goes in? How much miles around the world does one cotton T-shirt take to make?
Yeah, it's incredible.
I'm gonna use that.
Make sure you guys check out the merchandise in us. Goodness, it really does help support the channel. And let me know if you like the designs. Thank you guys for joining me today, Jeff Kings.
No
problem.
Always a pleasure, man.
It's been way too long, and I'm feeling a little bit more refreshed, although that won't last until the next baby comes along.
And I will say right now that my audio probably isn't as good as it usually is, because when I started recording, I just noticed that it's recording through my webcam instead of my actual microphone. So
you sound fine to us.
Yeah, you sound
fine.
fine.
At least to me.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Good. I mean, I was worried about how that was going to sound. So, okay, mister, I can hear you too.
Yeah.
My little explorer here.
There we go. So yes, guys, thank you so much for joining us today, and till next time, we'll see you then.